head coach Mike Bianco, infielder Peyton Chatagnier, and first baseman Tim Elko, Coral Gables Regional MVP, I might add. Coach, we're going to start with an opening statement, then we'll go into questions. We'll go for our media members in the room, and then we'll go on Zoom. We have quite a few people on Zoom joining us. If you do have a question for Coach or either of our student athletes, please use the hand raise function. Coach, take it away.
First, I'd like to congratulate, the University of Arizona and Coach Chip Hale. What a great year, they've had, and in a great tournament. And we know firsthand it wasn't easy for any of us that went through this, and no fault of anybody, but just travel, to get here. We traveled on 3 different planes to get here on Wednesday night. Their plane got detoured to Fort Myers, and they had to bus over in the middle of the morning on Thursday morning. Of course, we all get rained out on Friday and don't play, and them, like us, play the 10:30 game, on Saturday night and don't get done until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they came back and played a doubleheader. So just a tough road for them, but a tremendous year, and a big thank you to the University of Miami, especially their grounds crew. It's one of those. Baseball's an outdoor sport, and sometimes it happens like this. I don't know if we've ever been hit by a tropical storm before. I've been to a lot of regionals, but they did a heck of a job, and the grounds crew, when you played on the field tonight, you would have never known. They've got near 10 inches of rain over the last several days. So with that, I'm super proud of my guys. I've said it for 3 nights in a row. It hasn't been an easy road for us. Not just this weekend. But for the last month, and because of 2 guys like the guys sitting next to me, Peyton and Tim and others, in that dugout, they've held it together and just played really, really well. And we told you about the obstacles that happened to get here, but when you talk about the field, Canisius, and then of course Arizona, who eliminated us last year in a super regional that got to Omaha, and then of course the ACC champs and the University of Miami. This was if not the most difficult regional, one of the most difficult. And so to get placed here, we were just happy to be somewhere, but we played well, and I'm very proud of our guys.
Great. Thank you, Coach. We'll go into questions in the room. We'll start with Walter Villa.
Tim, congratulations on your performance. 2 questions for you. One is you're from the Tampa area, so can you tell me who you had here supporting you, and also just how you were seeing the baseball? What do you attribute your success? You had a great year, but especially this weekend.
Yeah, I had some family, just my parents and my sister, but it was nice to have them here, and cool to be back in my home state. But I was just trying to put good swings on good pitches this weekend, and it was working well for me. But it's a lot easier to do well when you've got such a good support system around you, and such other good hitters around you in the lineup. It makes hitting a lot easier when there's so many good guys around you. So props to really the whole team for doing such a great job this weekend, and our pitching staff did an amazing job as well. So just all around, it's a lot easier to play well when you've got really good players behind you.
When you had that last single, I think your last hit, I saw you had a smile when you reached first base. It was like you couldn't make it out if you wanted, it seemed like.
Well, no, I was trying to hit another home run, so wasn't really looking for a single, but it's all good. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, you were talking about vibes the other day. What's the vibe in the dugout when you're up 13, knowing a super is kind of inevitable? How loose is everybody kind of feeling through the game?
It's definitely very loose, but believe it or not, there's a lot of people in the dugout still saying, hey, we got to put more runs on, play solid defense, we got to make our pitches, do everything we can do. And because baseball's so crazy, literally anything can happen, and this is such a big moment for us, such a big game, we don't want to take it for granted.
Tim, I know this is 2 straight years in a row where you've had big regionals. What is it about you hitting in regionals that kind of allows you to have this kind of success?
Yeah, just trying to win the game. Really, trying to do anything I can to help us win, and I just want to win. So I just try to do that every single day, whatever I can do. And like I said before, it's a lot easier to play well when you've got such a good team behind you. So we're really proud of how the whole team played.
We've got some hands up on Zoom. We'll go to John Sokoloff first. John, go ahead.
Hey guys, congrats. So Tim, you guys, not to harp on it too much, I know we've talked about it a lot, but you guys were, literally the last team in. People projected you guys to not make the tournament, and then to come in here and run the table the way that you did, especially for a guy like you who's in his last year. I mean, how kind of grateful are you, not just to have this moment, but I mean, what does it mean to you to be able to, have this run with your team, like in this regional in the way that you did?
It's a great moment. And it doesn't really matter what rank you are getting into the tournament or whatever. We just have full belief in ourselves and so much confidence in ourselves that this is no surprise to us. We knew the whole season that we had a great team, and sure, we had a stretch where we weren't playing our best baseball, and but we never doubted ourselves, never pointed fingers, and just continued to believe in ourselves. So this really doesn't come as a huge surprise to us that we're able to play well, and we're just really proud of how we played.
Great. We'll go next to Joe Cook. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Congratulations. First, I guess, how surprising was this win for you guys? 22 runs, the most ever in NCAA tournament game. How surprising was this performance from you guys, and what do you think that does for you going forward, knowing that you can put up 20 plus in the NCAA?
I don't want to say it comes to a surprise, but I also don't want to make it seem like we were taking Arizona lightly. It's just I think the way the cards fell, and like Tim had kind of mentioned earlier, everyone was doing great. The whole team pitched well and hit well and did everything like that. So I don't want to say it came to a surprise at all, but I know we have that in us for sure.
Go next to Michael Katz. Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Mike. Yesterday you talked about needing your stars to come through in these sorts of moments. To have Tim do what he did, and just kind of knowing what he's been through in his career, just how special is it to kind of see him have those moments?
Yeah, really cool. And, kind of to John's question, being the last team in and all of that, I think, and I've said this before, to our beat writers, I think before, we came to Miami, where if we were not to get in, how disappointing that would have been. And it's always disappointing if you don't get in. But especially this group, and especially Tim, three-time captain, and a lot of his older teammates. That would have been super disappointing. So to watch them get this opportunity and make the most of it, to play so well, is as a coach, that's your reward. To watch the kids play and succeed, and and sometimes fail like we did this year, and then pick themselves back up and put themselves back in position to succeed again.
We've got Austin Eldridge. Austin, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. 5 different players for your team made the all-regional team with Elko and Chatagnier, Gonzalez, and Elliott and Johnson. Just talk about what it means to you as a coach to have that kind of performance from your team and that kind of recognition for your team after a regional like this.
Well, it's really cool, and I don't mean to make light of it, but that's what usually happens when you win. And it's not because you win, you get the players on the team. It's really the reason that you won is because you played well. And you played well because guys, had great tournaments like the guys you mentioned. And so that's not surprising. I think if you look around, the country, that's probably very similar. That's the reason we had success this weekend and played so well, as we had, many parts. Tim, obviously the MVP and had a tremendous, tournament, but so did Peyton, so did Gonzo. DeLucia, was excellent on Friday night. Wasn't selected. So there's guys that weren't on the team that, were super for us. Our bullpen, Josh Mallets was terrific. And so we had a lot of guys play well. And so, again, that's the reason that we had success, is because we had so many guys play well here.
We'll go 2 more on Zoom. We'll start with Chase Parham. Chase, go ahead.
Mike, obviously Garrett Wood getting a little action today, 3 quality at bats, and that 10-pitch at bat in the 5th that really kind of sprung it open when you blew it open there.
Man, you can pick them out, can't you, Chase? Wow. Yeah, you're right. There's parts in a game, and on a couple different levels. You're going game wise, where that was a big at bat, and the game was still intact. And but I also thought that was huge for a guy. I want to believe, and I may be wrong. Mitch may be able to help me. I think that's his first start, for us this year. And, he's starting in a regional final. And first ball's hit to him. And that's kind of the cool thing about baseball. The ball finds you, right? Your first start, you're in a regional final, and the first ball hit by the opponent goes right to you. But he was terrific, had great at-bats all night. But, again, not something we didn't think was going to happen. I mean, he's worked so hard. He's a super, super teammate, and he deserved, tonight.
We'll go back to the room.
Obviously, a very familiar opponent coming up with Southern Miss now. Just first off, how special is that for Mississippi, do you think, having two teams going against each other?
I said something, Nick, last year in the regional. I think, at the end, you look up, and we had three teams in regional finals, obviously Southern, us, and then, of course, State in their regional final. But, again, it's neat. A population of about 3 million people in our state, and there might be 3 million people in Miami, right? And we got 3 people in our entire state, and so really cool, and obviously tremendous respect for that program, for what Scott Berry's done there. I don't know, outside our region, and it's a shame because they're not in the SEC or the ACC or some conference where I think that hurts them nationally, but they're as good as any program in the country.
Two really good games against them this year. Just what did you learn from those two games, and how much can you take from midweek games?
It's tough. The thing is we don't see the pitching staff, or at least the starters. You see some of the relievers, so the scouting report for the hitters won't be as foreign, for us. But with all the video that's available to us now, that's not really, it wouldn't matter, who you're playing. I think it probably more the topic would be, going there. Obviously, they have a great fan base. I think we broke the attendance record last time we were there about a month ago, and we don't have a lot of our fans show up on Tuesday night, but I'm thinking a lot will show up this weekend when we get there.
We've got 2 last hands up on Zoom. We'll go back to John Sokoloff. John, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, I talked with you the other day about like the pitching staff and the bullpen arms and those kind of guys, but you guys are 11-3 in your last 14 games, and over that span, I mean, we knew the offense was.
John, I think we lost.
Yeah, you're giving up. You guys are allowing 4.28 runs per game, like in that 14 game stretch when you're 11-3. How much of a security blanket is that for you as a coach?
One that we haven't had, all year. As you know, John, it's been kind of up and down for us as far as the pitchers, but not just the relievers. The bullpen was outstanding. Today was a tough day to pitch with the wind blowing out and as warm as it was. You could see not just Derek, but their pitchers struggled to keep the ball in the yard. But our bullpen's been fabulous. Somebody told me that we didn't give up an earned run this weekend, from the bullpen. And so, obviously as a coach, when you're holding the other team down, and you have the offense that we have, it's a pretty good security blanket.
We'll wrap this up with Joe Cook. Joe, go ahead.
All right, this is for the players. Of course, we heard from Coach Bianco about the Southern Miss matchup. I asked you guys, the last time you guys saw them, you won, and that was part of your strong finish to the regular season. So knowing that you had success over them fairly recently, what are some of the things that kind of stand out to you about this matchup, playing in Hattiesburg, a rematch from last year's regional when it was at your house, just some of the emotions and things that you guys are looking forward to when facing the Golden Eagles again?
I expect this to be a great series, and but to be honest, if you would have asked us, 2 weeks ago, who we wanted to play, I don't think it would have mattered. It's really cool that we get to play Southern Miss. I think it's going to be great, but at the end of the day, it's another team that we just have to beat and keep moving forward.
Yeah, just to add to Peyton, I think I kind of feel the same way. I would speak for the whole team that to us it doesn't really make a big difference who we have to play to get to Omaha. We're happy to have won this regional and ready to play whatever team was next. I think it's cool that it's going to be in Mississippi because I think we'll have a good crowd there, a good Ole Miss fan base showing. and I think it'll be a really cool series. But we're just excited to keep playing and continue to write our story.
Awesome. Coach, gentlemen, congratulations on winning. You'll be having some fans down here in Coral Gables rooting for you the rest of the way. Have a safe trip and good
Thank
luck
you.
the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You thirsty? Jeez.